Wow, and that was so smart.
He's just gonna keep throwing it up there.
No roll in. Oh,
He rolled in!
Gets the back air. He's going to try to throw out the razor leaf. It knocks him off the bike, but it's not enough. He reads the roll in, and Twink is going to grand final.
Leo has the read on that.
So scary. Excellent move by Leo, and again, he's able to get that stock off.
Although MKLeo's dominance is a product of just so many skills and fundamentals wrapped up together, we decided to take an in-depth look at one of them. I mean, Arson is so broken. I'm getting back aired at like 12% insta-dead. The counter scoops me from like anywhere. Sakurai, please nerf this. MKLeo's ledge game is very impressive. And the thing about it that differentiates him from many other players is that he doesn't hard commit to cover one or two options. We'll see some examples later on where some players will try to really punish standard getup, really punish a roll, and then they just end up giving up stage control. The thing with Leo is that he knows that if he can cover a roll or not commit too hard so he can react to a roll, he will always have stage control and then he will just choke you out from there. We'll see some examples of this coming up, but let's look at the getup options, right? So Sheik's been doing a lot of them, but let's look at them in stills. You'll notice that she either has to take to the air or she doesn't get very far at all, right? Standard getup attack, fair. None of them bring her very far. Roll is the only one that'll actually bring her kind of to a comfortable position on the stage where she's not choked out. This red area here is essentially Joker's domain. He's free to move around it and he's not any real threat for doing so. And there's a lot behind him, right? If he needs to move back, he has so much room. Let's compare that to Sheik. Very little room. If she moves forward, you can't shield during your initial dash. She might get pivot grabbed, stuffed out. If she jumps, she can get anti-aired. She has no space to go back the same way Joker does, right? She'll just go off stage. No one's going to throw themselves off stage for no reason. We need to keep this in mind when watching Leo because he abuses the situation incredibly well. He knows that people want to work their way back to the middle of the stage. No one enjoys being cornered. So he uses very low committal options like quick back airs, dashes, just to bait out options to see how people will try to fight their way back to the stage and punishes them so consistently. So let's take a look right here. As we mentioned earlier, you want to make sure you cover the rolls because rolling in will give your opponent stage control back. So what Leo does is if he wants to cover the neutral getup area, he'll do a very low back air. Joker's back air is very quick, very low end lag, and it's not a commitment. So if it does miss, Leo can then react to what he needs to do next. So let's look at that in slow-mo. Leo starts at the roll position, goes for the back air we were talking about, notices it misses, and immediately covers a roll. Let's take another look at a clip, and it's very similar, right? Leo goes for the same back air, and it works. Any aerial that has low end lag should work in a similar way, right? The key is low end lag because that allows you to react to the next option. Even if Leo doesn't do the back air, as we see here, he's just so concerned about how Tweak wants to make his way back to the center of the stage, and he reacts to it. Reacting is a big key. In this case, it was a roll. Leo immediately grabs it and throws him off. In this clip, Nairo teleports onto the stage and Leo does the same thing. Rather than trying to punish the teleport itself, he dashes back and covers how Nairo will try to get center stage again and gets a free backer. Let's see what happens when the roles are reversed. Nairo goes for an F tilt, which might have caught like a neutral getup, but it just doesn't work, and it lets Leo get back for free. In some later clips, we'll see that Leo can get up to 40% or even more without ever getting touched just for how often and how consistent he is at punishing people trying to get back to center stage. When you compare that to how people fight him, it seems like he'll get off the ledge for free sometimes, right? In this case, Nairo was trying to down tilt. It might have caught one or two options, but Leo gets on for free with a nair. Here, Nairo tries to grab a standard getup. Once again, it doesn't work. Leo gets on for free, and it actually ends up costing Nairo his stock. Remember how Leo got back onto the stage for free by just nairing off the ledge? Well, let's see what happens when people try to aggressively aerial to get back against Leo. I invite you to watch this clip specifically a few times on your own just to see how many different options Leo can punish and how consistent he is with this compared to everyone else. Even here where he doesn't punish the fair, he has so much room to play with that he still ends up getting a punish, right? That's the beauty of stage control. You have so many more options open to yourself. And look, Nairo's been using some aggressive options, and this time he just tries to roll. First time in the clip, Leo punishes it. That's the beauty of his low risk but like quick reaction playstyle when it comes to the ledge. Getting a back air might not seem like a big deal to some people, but when you're consistently ledge trapping like this, it feels so suffocating to play against. I don't know if you just saw what happened there, but let's take a closer look. Leo does 3 separate back air, and Nairo is actually fairly evasive here, but he just gets like hunted down, right? So the first back air misses, Leo tries the anti-air, misses that as well. And now Nairo gets a roll to center stage, and Leo finally punishes it, right? That's like, when you have so much stage control, you know your opponent wants to get to the middle, and Leo's just so good at hunting them down. So here's another just kind of standard clip against Samsora. He's gonna do the famous back air, you know, the very low committal one. Samsora hasn't picked an option yet, so he just defaults back to his roll position. Samsora gives him the roll. So being reactive in how someone wants to actually get back to center stage might be a better way of punishing the ledge than actually trying to hard commit to individual options, right? And it's not like Leo's the only one that does this. Nairo's good at it. We'll see a clip here where he does it. It's just that Leo seems to be the most consistent, right? So Nairo gives him space, Leo does the counter, punishes. Nairo gives him space, retreating back airs, Leo rolls in, Nairo punishes, right? Many players are really good at this. And I don't want to I'm showing a lot of clips of Nairo and Tweak and Samsora, and I don't want to make it seem like Leo's just like hard outclassing them. But in this one aspect of the game, it seems that Leo is just crazy consistent, right? In the same clip, Leo gets Nairo with the same things, right? Low bears, runs back to roll position, and reacts. Nairo didn't move, he went back and bared him. So just to show you how much % Leo can get for free with this, let's watch this clip where, you know, Nairo's at 36, Leo's at 80, but Nairo finds himself at the ledge against Leo. Big no-no, as we found out, right? I'm gonna spoil it. Leo does about 50% unanswered until Nairo finally gets a dash attack. After watching all these sets for this video, I've noticed that Nairo is actually one of the better people at dealing with this, right? A lot of people will just never get off the ledge until Leo messes up, whereas Nairo actually finds like these pockets of aggressiveness where it gets him out with dash attacks. And even though Nairo is so good at dealing with it, Leo still gets so much out of it, which is the crazy thing. So a lot of the clips we've seen, Leo actually punishes standard get-ups or rolls, but make no mistake that he punishes jumps as well, right? It's a lot about reacting. See, the bear doesn't hit and Leo gives him space until he finally jumps and he punishes. And again, when Tweak jumps, gets punished. We'll watch that in slow-mo, right? So Leo does the bear that we've seen him always do, starts dashing back to the roll position, but Tweak jumps, so instead of committing to punishing a roll, Leo just reacts, you know, Tweak jumped. I'll go up there and back air him. And you know, it ends up leading to a stock, as we've seen a lot of ledge opportunities against Leo end up leading in a stock. You're going to see a similar thing against Nairo here, where he gets back to the stage, but Leo gives him a little bit of room, Nairo jumps, and Leo punishes it, right? Same thing with Samsora here. Samsora does the neutral getup, Leo doesn't hard commit to punish it, instead just waits patiently, dashes back and forth, anti-airs. So we've seen in this video, and I'm sure you've seen it in your own play in real life, that people would try to cover 1 or 2 specific options to prevent you from getting off the ledge altogether. But it seems Leo's approach of not really caring if they get off the ledge, but choking them out when it comes to getting back to the center of the stage is a much more consistent way of going about it. And just to top it off, Leo's also really good at going super deep off stage, right? He's one of the best edge guarders in Ultimate. Just because he's really good at ledge trapping doesn't mean he'll just sit there and wait for you. Mars makes a single mistake here and misses a side B off stage, and Leo just destroys him for it, right? Leo's ledge trapping ability, as well as his ability to go off stage, makes him so scary when he's at an advantage state. And that pretty much wraps it up. I invite you to go watch some of Leo's sets and keep this in mind, and you'll notice just how much free damage he gets off it. So always keep in mind just how much more space you have to work with on someone's corner. You don't have to actually punish them at the ledge. Just make sure they don't get that free roll, and you have so much to work with, and they will try to find their way back to the middle of the stage. No one likes playing cornered. It's an incredibly suffocating place to be in Smash Bros. So I hope you guys learned something today about trapping those ledges. And in the future, I plan on analyzing many more of like the micro interactions that some top players seem to have just mastered. And they may not be incredibly obvious from a spectator's point of view, so I kind of want to flesh them out. So if you'd like to see more, make sure to stick around.